Hello there, we are here again with another episode of our book review. I hope you have your copy now and you are reading along as we share some of the highlights with you. In chapter 7, we are looking at the inheritance process that Abraham went through, how he ensured that wisdom was transferred before wealth was transferred. And so we realize that Abraham ensured that the right person actually took on his succession. Abraham initially thought that, the tradition was for the eldest child to inherit the parent. However, in this book, we are told that it was Isaac who was the chosen one who had been prepared to carry on the inheritance. And so knowing who has been prepared and has the ability to carry on inheritance is very critical in a succession process. Additionally, Abraham ensured that his values were very explicit to his successor. And so in how he set up altars and how he served his God, he made sure that his son was able to see these values and also carry them along. Additionally, Abraham also ensured that his successor also had experiential knowledge of the God that he had served, who was the source of all the wealth that he possessed. And so he made sure that Isaac had his own encounters with God. Isaac saw firsthand Jehovah Jireh, the God who provides, that on the mountain of the Lord he will provide. And this is very critical for every believer to ensure that this important thing is taking place in the succession process. Finally, we see that Abraham knew that who his son partnered with was very critical in being able to carry on the lineage of wealth and faith. And so Abraham did not leave the spousal issues to be left alone. He was very interested in this and allowed his servant Eliezer to go to a family where he knew they also had similar values so that he could get a spouse for his son. In this book, we are introduced to the criteria that Eliezer used in getting a suitable spouse for Isaac. And it is beautiful to behold. These values are also quite relevant in our day and time. In our day and time, we may not have parents going to find spouses for their children, but parents can still play a very critical role in guiding their children, in praying for their children for this very critical stage in their lives. And so in this chapter, we are introduced to the inheritance process and how Abraham ensured that he did not just transfer wealth, but made sure that the wisdom to sustain the wealth had been offered. So in chapter 8, it simply concludes that Abraham actually ensured that these material blessings were now distributed well among all his offspring. And so Abraham made sure that all his offsprings were given substantial wealth to help them carry on with their life, but he ensured that Isaac, who was the main successor, was given what he needed to be able to carry on generations with the wealth and faith, and ensured that all the other siblings were placed quite a distance away from him so that there would not be any form of interferences. And so here Abraham successfully transferred wealth and faith to the next generation. Now, this chapter concludes with a quote which I want to read to all of us. It says that success without a successor amounts to failure. Thankfully, Abraham had a successor. And so we see that Abraham's life was successful to the glory of God. We see that Isaac also became wealthy and was also able to transfer this wealth on to the next generation. Are you still not having your copy of this book? Grab your copy and get these insights and be blessed.